What's going on, guys? Welcome to our daily show where we discuss everything going on here in our country, everything you need to know, including the four stimulus package update, stimulus check updates, and daily news. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, make sure to click the subscribe button right now so you don't miss out on new videos. We got a lot to talk about here today, so let's jump right in. We got some news on social security raises and the latest on what's going on with the Russia conflict. Here we go. The case for expanding Social Security benefits, the Social Security 2100 Act, is getting more and more support and media attention. We've covered this here on the channel, but in case you're not familiar with it, the Social Security 2100 Act will bolster the nearly century-old social insurance programs through additional like caregiver credits and increasing minimum benefits. Those minimum benefits would be increased dramatically by increasing the federal poverty limit, which could increase it to 125%. And that means that those who qualify for Social Security and underneath this Social Security 2100 Act would get a minimum guaranteed benefit of $1,341 per month. That's why the Social Security 2100 Act is such a big deal for tens of millions of Americans and seniors on Social Security because it would be a dramatic raise for millions of Americans. So think about that. Think about if your Social Security check is $800, $900 or $1,000 a month. Imagine if you got a raise that went to $1,341 per month and it was inflation adjusted as well. In addition that going forward, possibly a cost of living adjustment raise and maybe a poverty level raise as well to the federal poverty line. Now the interesting thing about this is actually increase in solvency of Social Security as well, The first kind of thing that comes to mind is how they can do this. How can they pay out more money? When Social Security, the first thing you hear is that Social Security is going to run out of money in the future, right? Well, the interesting thing about this plan as well is all mathematics. So the Social Security 2100 Act, as you can see here, it cuts taxes, strengthens benefits, ensures Social Security through this century. So not only is one of the main benefits, it raises those benefits, but it actually, as you can see here, it ensures Social Security through this century. So one of the other thing it does is it adds a Social Security tax to people making over what you see or cuts taxes for some people. But it adds a Social Security tax. Potentially, it depends on how they would actually pass the bills. But it would add a Social Security tax to people making over $400,000, and they would pay into Social Security. People that make over $4,000 and $1,000 would start to pay back into the Social Security pot and would then pay for Social Security benefits for everybody else. So potentially you think about, people that make many millions or even billions of dollars would pay into Social Security for a lot of money. Also, we've been so overwhelmed with Russia-Ukraine news, but the jury found the three other officers involved in the George Floyd death guilty here. The other three former police officers in Minneapolis who were accused of violating civil rights of George Floyd. The black man who died when he was pinned down by the white Minneapolis police officer to close to 10 minutes were found guilty by a jury on Thursday. The former officers were each charged with deprivation of rights under color of law for depriving the rights of medical care to Floyd while he was pinned down by their college officer Derek Chauvin. They were also charged with failing to intervene when excessive force was used by Chauvin to stop Floyd. The sentencing date for the three officers has not yet been set, but until then all three will be allowed to remain free on bond. All three could face up to life in prison, though today's verdict recognizes that two police officers violated the Constitution by failing to intervene to stop another officer from killing George Floyd. And three officers violated the Constitution by failing to provide aid to Mr. Floyd in time to prevent his death, Attorney General Merrick Garland said in the statement. Also, there have been more calls to block Russia from the SWIFT financial sanctions. Not all countries are on board with this, and this would be what they consider the nuclear option, the number one biggest sanction they could do, which would basically block Russia from what they call the SWIFT financial institution around the world. If they do this would be a major blow to Russia, the number one sanction they could do, and there's growing support for this. Check this out, it's not just something the US can do. As you can see here, Russia being locked out of the SWIFT financial payment network has become more likely after the country of Cyprus has now agreed with the proposal. There have been calls for Russia to be shut out of the system, which facilitates cross-border payments. It is thought that doing so will increase pressure on Russia as businesses and its economy, and is largely considered to be the number one sanction, that what people call the nuclear sanction. It's not actually a nuclear bomb or anything like that, but it's a nuclear. It's just kind of an analogy, right? It's a number, it's one of the biggest sanctions they could do. The move was announced on Twitter by Ukrainian foreign minister, who has also spoken to Italy, where Italy, Germany and Belgium, where SWIFT is based. President Zelensky said he had a call on Saturday morning from the Italian Prime Minister Mario Draghi to say the move had his backing as well, while the smaller European nations Cyprus' backing is significant because it has a major destination, because it is a major destination for Russian investment. However, I don't believe Germany is backing yet because Germany has ties to Russia. Germany is willing to do some sanctions, including the SWIFT or the Nord Pipe Stream, the gas line. But this, as I said, SWIFT would be one of the biggest sanctions they could do. But there's growing support for this now, as we can see the Russia invasion, how severe it is that they're literally just in their full force and looking to just take over the country. And basically everything Putin said was a lie, that he was pulling back his forces. And remember, he also said he doesn't want to occupy the country. Well, we'll see if that's true. So there's been all this kind of stuff that he told the world that just were flat out lies. So there's so many different countries that are already sanctioning him, and a lot of countries are, the US can control the SWIFT, as you just heard there. But if that happens, it would be a severe blow to Russia, and a lot of billions of dollars from Russia is kind of frozen in these foreign banks. And the US says that there are billions of dollars they're frozen as well. Yeah, let me know your thoughts here. I'll keep you up to date here with everything going on here in our country. This whole Russia situation, how it's gonna affect us here at home, the price of oil, price of gas, inflation, stimulus, news, everything you need to know about on a daily basis. So make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't yet. It's completely free to do so. I'll keep you up to date here with everything. You can click here to watch my newest video next, or you can click here to watch my newest videos on another videos details on social security races, SNAP races, and pandemic EPT races. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching guys, and I will see you in the next videos.